We can't see it inside because it's embedded, but it'll go down and up, right? And it'll join up and become the vas deferens, which is part of the spermatocord. This whole thing is the spermatocord, right? And only the vas deferens is going to continue up, right? And go behind the bladder, right? And then they're going to dump inside into the prostate region. And that right here, now, we're going to go into the second E. So after the V is the ejaculatory duct, right? And you guys notice what's next, right? So we have the ejaculatory, there's a small region right here. But see this entire region right here? It comes from the inside of the bladder, it's going out. It's the urethra, right? So urethra is next. Okay. Whoa. Confused. Not backwards either. Okay, just kidding. Oh no. There you go. Right. So this is a urethra, right? But you guys are seeing what I'm trying to get at, right? The next would be the penis. Right? After the urethra, we head to the penis and then out into the world, right? Right? Okay. So what's S stands for what?
Seminiferous.
Seminiferous tubules, right? So that's this right here, right? Attached to the seminiferous tubules are the epididymis, right? And they're going to travel down and up, head towards the vas deferens, which is part of what structure? Spermatocord, right? And remember, we have 4 other things in the spermatocord, right? Testicular arteries, veins, nerves, and lymph vessel, and the vas deferens, right? So they're going to continue up. Right? Right. I'm gonna switch over to this one because this is a better one. Right. This is going to continue up, and you'll see this tube. Vas deferens is long. It's going to go all the way behind the bladder, right? And going to dump into the prostate region, right? And then the little tube inside the prostate region is the ejaculatory duct, and which is going to meet up with the what? Urethra, and then the penis. 7 up.
Into the world.
Into the world, right? 7 up. Yeah.
That's funny.
Good boy. All right. Fantastic. All right. There's a couple other terms I do want to talk about before we continue. You guys all have your notes with you, right? Okay, good. Let me talk about the inguinal canal. Right? The inguinal canal is this canal right here, right? See this region right here? This is the region where, so this is outside the body sort of, and finally when it goes inside the body cavity, right, we pass through the inguinal canal to get to the inside of the body. So the inguinal canal is a little hole where the spermatocord enters inside the body. Okay. Spermatocord, where the spermatocord meets the inside of the body. Where it meets the inside of the body. Okay. All right. Okay, so if you think about it, okay, kind of take a step back and think about it. So what's made in the seminiferous tubules? We have what made? Sperm is made, right? But what comes out? What comes out into the world? Semen, right? 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 Semen. Ha ha ha. Semen, right? Comes out, right? But if you think about it, is sperm and semen the same thing? No, right? Semen is what? Sperm plus food and water for the trip, right? So semen is sperm plus food and water for the trip, which is also called seminal fluid. So sperm plus seminal fluid makes up semen. Okay? All right. So if I ask you what's the function of the seminal fluid, you guys will tell me what? Food and water for the trip. Exactly. Right. So where does seminal fluid come in, right? So if you look, it comes from a certain gland, right? And the gland is actually located right behind. Oh, I can figure it out. So this is right here. See this structure right here? Make sure this right here is the vas deferens, right? It's a vas deferens meeting up behind the bladder, right? And it's gonna dump in towards the prostate, right? But notice there's this orange glandular structure, right? This structure right here are called seminal vesicles, right? Seminal vesicles are also located behind the bladder. They're located behind the bladder. And they contribute seminal fluid. Okay? They squirt in seminal fluid so we can have food and water for the trip. Right? 'Cause if you think about it, right, sperm can last like 3 days, right? It needs food and water to continue living for that long, right? And that's provided by that seminal fluid. And also, sperm by itself is actually very, very dense, like jello-y almost like texture, right? So if you think about it, if you were to swim through jello versus swim through water, which do you swim better? In water, not jello. I don't know about you, but it's easier to swim through water, right? So you need that fluid, right? And you also need that nutrition, right? The food and water, right? Food and water. Seminal fluid. All right. What else do I want to talk about? All right. So that's this structure. So make sure. So see this walnut-shaped thing? This yellow walnut-shaped thing under the bladder. It's the what? It's the prostate. Right. Prostate is located inferior to the bladder. Right. If I can take this out. So right here, here's our bladder. Right. In this model, it looks a little bit different. Right. It's this dark purple structure. Right. This is the prostate, located just inferior to the bladder. So right here, right, we have the bladder. Right, just below is the prostate. This is all different views, right? Do you guys see that? That dark purple structure located just below the bladder is the what? Prostate gland. Prostate gland. Right. The prostate gland actually contributes prostate fluid, but we actually don't know the function of the prostate fluid, so that's, you could keep it as that. But they actually contribute something to the overall semen as well. But the function we don't know yet. All right. Oh. Also, within the prostate, see this structure? This entire structure was what? It's coming from the bladder, so it's the urethra, right? It's the urethra, right? The portion of the urethra within the prostate, it's the same urethra, but we give it a special name. Ejaculatory duct. Very good. Ejaculatory duct. All right. Very good. How about, what is this structure? Prostate. This is the seminal vesicles, and this white structure is the
Vas deferens.
vas deferens. Good. Yeah. Amazing. Good job. All right. Vas deferens. We talked about epididymis. All right. Testicular arteries and veins. We talked about it. Inguinal canal. We did seminal vesicle. Yes. Ejaculatory duct. Yes. Prostate gland. Bulbourethral gland. That's another thing. So we have. Okay. So below the prostate, we also have 2 glands next to it, and those are called the bulbourethral glands. I don't know if I can see it. So the bulbourethral gland is located below the prostate, and they actually contribute. The bulbourethral gland contribute pre-ejaculatory fluid. The pre-stuff. The bulbourethral gland, right, contributes pre-ejaculatory fluid, right? So, pretty much pre-cum. Okay. So the bulbourethral gland. Why would we have pre-cum? Like, what is it for? Exactly, because if you think about it, right, we have eventually before the penis, right? we have what tube? We have the urethra, right? But besides semen, what also runs through it? Pee, right? And you don't really want,
Pee in your.
yeah, it makes, well,
Yeah.
it's already gross to have, pee
Sperm.
going into whoever, right? But if you have semen mixed with urine, and remember what I talked about urine earlier, I said it's a little bit acidic. The fact that it's a little bit acidic and you have
For the
sperm in
sperm.
there, right? If you have really acidic environment and you're a
Sperm will
sperm, right?
survive.
What will happen?
Sperm will survive.
Yeah, you'll fry up, right? So you want to neutralize that urethra, so kind of get rid of all the acidic component out of it, using the bulbal urethral gland,
Does it
the
have
pre-ejaculatory
Pre.
fluid. Yes.
Does it have sperm cells though?
It so okay. So what she's asking is,
Good.
well, if you kind of get down to the question like, can you get pregnant with pre-cum, right? Sort of, right? Well, answer is, anytime you have anything flowing, there's always a chance because you might have like residual like semen still like in, you know what I mean? And that could, and it's like a little strong guy, right? You'll make it. So, right? So you want to still be careful, right?
Is it true that you can pee after sex and wash out the?
It says wash out the bacteria.
They say to
Wash
pee
out
before and after
'cause-
sex.
Yeah,
Yeah. Wait, what?
because my friend always pees after she has sex.
Well, they say to do.
That's what she says. It always happens to her. Anyways, we're just wondering if that's what it
wait,
flushes
are you,
out.
are you talking about the
Sorry.
female or the male?
Well, the both. Yeah.
Both? Oh,
It's recommended to
Because it's
pee
recommended.
before and after.
Right.
oh really?
Yeah,
I heard about
Because
that.
of the bacteria.
Um,
like,
I don't
it
know.
flushes out.
prevent UTI.
Oh
Right.
really?
Right.
Oh,
Exactly.
wow, that's a,
Yeah, there's
maybe
bacteria.
just the
Like,
fact that
like
it's
crazy.
acidic, maybe that will kill off bacteria.
Like my friend says,
But I actually never heard of that before.
It makes sense.
I thought that was pretty interesting. Huh.
It makes sense though. I mean,
Yeah. It would make sense, yeah.
because I mean,
All right.
flushing out.
Seminal vesicles, ejaculatory prostate gland, bulbal urethral gland injects pre-ejaculatory fluid, right? Let me kind of jump back and do the gubernaculum. The gubernaculum, you guys talk about that in lecture? Oh, you guys will, if you guys haven't. And it's pretty big, and it's all the, it's the embryology stuff. It's what helps you descend the gonads. So the gubernaculum helps with descent of gonads, right? So in the female, it'll be the descent of the ovaries, and the male will be the descent of the testes, right? Right. So embryological structure, right? So when you're developing, it's there.
The gubernaculum.
Yeah, gubernaculum. But in the male, right? Once you become like a baby from an embryo, the gubernaculum becomes what's called a scrotal ligament. If you're a male, right? If you're the male, you become the scrotal ligament. In the female, the gubernaculum is going to become the ovarian ligament, as well as the round ligament. But the round ligament, it's like impossible to see, so I'm not going to worry too much. It's not on your list, but it's kind of good to know.
You said it helps with the descent of
The gonads, yeah. The gubernaculum helps with the descent of the gonads. I'm pretty sure you're going to cover it in lecture. Because I think he draws like huge diagrams and you see how it descends and all that stuff. It's going to be big. So you guys kind of know what it is when you guys get into lecture, right? All right. Scrotal ligament, epididymis, da-da-da-da-da-da. The pampiniform plexus. Do you guys see that on your list? Pampiniform plexus. These are blood vessels, but these are veins only, right? Pampiniform plexus. It's like a network of veins. Just veins only. Pampiniform plexus is a network of veins from the testicle, right? And that converges into the testicular vein.
That's embryological.
Actually, that's not embryological. That's there all the time. Yeah. Good question. Pampiniform plexus is a network of veins. Plexus generally means like a network or something. So pampiniform plexus is a network of veins from the testicles, and then it becomes a testicle vein, and it goes up, using the spermatocord. Okay. Good. You can look now. Da, 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 da. All right. So the penis, right, looks like this, right? So it's located here, right? And for ladies, yes, it does face down, points down all the time. One person got it. Anyways, awkward. Okay. All right. Anyway, if you cut, so the penis has two components. We have the tip, which is called the glans penis. Right. The tip of the penis is called the glans penis. Right. The head of the penis, right? And then the body is called the shaft. Right? We have the shaft of the penis. Right? And if we were to cut the shaft in half, like we give it, so yeah, it's pretty brutal sounding. But if we kind of cut it this way, right? If I give it like, right? And if I look at the shaft, the cross section would look something like that, right? Right. So that monkey face looking thing, right? So that's the cross section. Right. What I have up there is the cross section of the the penis,
Shaft.
right, or the shaft, right. And what I have, the three big rods that I have up there, the big three circles, are actually erectile tissue. Right. So the male shaft has 3 erectile tissue, right. We have 2 erectile tissues on the top. And that's called the corpus cavernosum. Corpus cavernosum. Or on your list it says corpora cavernosa, and that's just plural. Okay. Corpora cavernosa. That's the 2 erectile tissue on the top. And if you can see like all the little dots on it, right, sort of in the middle, right, that's where like the blood vessels would be, right? And that's where, you know, your arteries would come in and fill the erectile tissue with blood, and that will create the erection. Right? Supposedly, people, because of this fact, because of there's arteries there, people with higher blood pressure generally have stronger erections. But I guess there's one upshot to having a high blood pressure, but other than that, it's pretty bad. Yeah. All right. So the erectile tissue located on the bottom is called the corpus spongiosum, right? Corpus spongiosum, right? And you guys can see that what differentiates the corpus cavernosum and the corpus spongiosum is that there's a urethra running through the corpus spongiosum. Do you see that? The urethra is running through the corpus spongiosum. Right? Right. So if you think about it, the entire shaft of the penis, right, it's made out of 3 erectile tissue, right? Which erectile tissue makes up the glans penis? Spongiosum, right? Because why? We have the urethra going through it, right? So the corpus spongiosum makes up the glans penis, the tip. Alright. I think that's all for the male. Actually, before we continue, right, with the female, and female will be pretty quick. The male scrotum, right, well, it's only on the male, but the scrotum has several layers, right, that you need to know. The top, the most external layer, I'm going to go external layer and I'm going to go down, right, and they're in order on your list. So the most external layer of your reproductive system is the dartos tunic. The dartos tunic, and that's a muscle, right? And that's the most outer structure, well, besides the skin, right? And the dartos tunic is what gives the scrotum that wrinkly look. Okay? It's the dartos tunic. Okay? It gives the scrotum a wrinkled appearance. So the next layer we have is the external spermatic fascia, right? And for those of you guys who found the scrotum and kind of peeled away until you got to the actual testicles, you guys will have noticed that there's like a lot of fascia in between that layer, so you have to kind of like dig through it. So there's fascias in there. So the first one is the external spermatic fascia. Right. After the external spermatic fascia, you have what's called the cremaster muscle. Right. Cremaster muscle is next. The cremaster muscle is spelled C-R-E and master, M-A-S-T-E-R, muscle. Right? And this muscle are responsible for raising the testicles and putting them away, right? Raising them closer to the body. Raising them, so kind of like this closer and pulling away thing. Why would we do something like that? Why would we get a muscle that's responsible for like bringing the testicle close to your body and then like pull it away from your body? Temperature regulation, very good. So when your testicles are really prone to heat, let's say you're already at a hot place and then your body is even hotter, right? So if you want, what you want to do is kind of pull the testicles away further from your body, so you won't fry your sperms, right? You don't want to kill your sperm cells, right? At the same token, if you're really really cold, right, you don't want to freeze them, right? So what the cremaster muscle will do, will pull it up closer to the body core, so use the body heat to kind of regulate its temperature.